But welcome, returning guests, Nic Meehan. Yeah, I'm trying to think how many times have you been on now?
Oh, well, I mean, it feels like just yesterday I was here for the Christmas episode, and it's a pleasure to be back.
I can't believe it's already...
I know, it's 2026.
It's 2026, Valentine's Day is upon us.
Do you guys do Valentine's Day?
No.
And
Molly Kerr, everyone.
Oh,
Sorry,
yes.
Molly
Yes.
Kerr. Yes, welcome.
Which camera are we looking
Either
at?
one, yeah.
Oh,
This is your close-up, right
This
here on
one's
the
the
left.
one,
Yeah.
Okay. I've got something in my eye now, so that's good timing on my part.
Yeah,
made it that
can we zoom
emotional
up
for
on
the
Molly's
intro.
eye, please? Thanks to the crew behind there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do anything for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah.
Because I'm married.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it's Valentine's Day, and I've brought two people who have no romantic involvement with each other. Nick has no involvement with Molly romantically. Me, on the other hand, I'm very romantically involved with Nick.
Yeah. If you watch the Christmas episode, our relationship has only
really
blossomed
just been
since
Is
blossoming.
that why I'm here? I'm like
then. You
a
just have
buffer?
to be in between us, yeah.
Just so you can control
Pretty
yourself?
much. That's why Nick's... I had to put him on the other side of the room.
for our
Yeah.
partners to be in the same room. So.
That's why I haven't looked you in the eye at all.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's all Nick.
But yeah, I'm the same. We don't really do Valentine's Day either. We're
Yeah.
very like we spend too much on each other the rest of the year
Yeah.
to then
What?
spend Valentine's Day prices on each other.
That's kind of what it should be, though. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Valentine's Day is for kids and people that haven't been together long enough to have an anniversary.
High school kids, man. Yeah.
And
It's
social
for
media
people that are
kids.
practicing
Yeah.
dating, that like are just getting into the flow of
Yeah.
it, and so it's
It's like a reminder that you have to do this.
yeah. Whereas when you're in a long-term relationship, it's like you've got your anniversaries, you've got your special dates, you've got your birthdays, you've got probably kids,
Yeah.
and like
Mother's Day, Father's
Day,
all
Father's
that
Day,
stuff,
all
yeah.
of that stuff really takes up enough. So by the time Valentine's Day comes up, it's just like, no,
like,
we
oh,
just
that's
had
right.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think especially when you take the cynical view of like it's just like a capitalistic.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
it just reminds me of the Simpsons episode with Love Day. Is like
Yeah.
that's the joke.
It's
like,
literally-
how do we get people to keep
Something like
buying
Love
gifts?
Day, but not as obvious.
Not that lame.
yeah.
And so yeah, it's kind of like that thing of it's again, it's like why wedding stuff is overpriced. It's why it's because people know that you're going to feel an obligation to buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they're like, cool, spend, chocolates all suddenly double in price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stupid.
Valentine's
Yeah.
Day and things like that.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, like when before Christmas, 2025,
way back there.
way back. I remember there was like I'm going down the IGA, and there's Halloween stuff at Halloween and Christmas stuff like right next to it. Like get ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
Halloween hadn't even come yet. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's just so they need. I don't know. Like just either leave it up all year round, or do it at the time. Like, it's just silly.
Again, I'll go cynical marketing. It's exactly that. It's because it's the hot cross bun thing. I remember someone explaining it was like, you release the hot cross buns early and then people get annoyed.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, there shouldn't be hot cross bun. They make a Facebook status like, why are hot cross buns here? And like 50% of people read that and don't give a shit and go, cool, hot cross buns.
good.
Yeah. I should go get some hot cross
Yeah.
buns.
Go a cheeky
actually.
hot
That's
cross
cool.
bun.
And then
Yeah.
the year after they go, okay, cool, let's have backlash to the backlash to the hot cross buns.
Yeah.
And then boom, we got another year of marketing out of that.
Yeah.
And it works because
they'll
we're talking about
they'll
it.
do like a TikTok ad. Mark my words, where it's like a dramatic thing where like a bun will walk out by itself, like, and it's like dusting off like snow or something, something stupid like
work,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and they'll be like, oh you bastard. But how long have you guys been with your respective partners for?
13 years, I believe.
Nice.
So 2012, we moved in together.
Right.
And we've been married since 2014.
Nice. Over 10 years.
Yeah.
Huge, mate.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. That's a real accomplishment.
Honestly, it is. I feel like to live with another human being, like we're all... I mean, I know I'm very difficult to live with.
Oh, me
the
too.
fact that someone wants to
You
live
hear
with me the fact that someone wants to live with me 24/7 and to do that for 10 years is very impressive.
Okay, in what way are you difficult to live with? In what ways?
I'm just like annoying. I just need attention. I'm really needy.
I'm annoyed.
Like,
like generally just annoyed walking around, like just opening drawers, things like in the kitchen, and you open it too fast and everything rattles. I'm like, where's this fucking...
I think it's just like there's an aspect of as soon as you have someone else in your space, you have to live differently than you would by yourself. And I think there's a level of... I just overanalyze that level of annoyance. Just the fact that I'm sort of there means, you know, my girlfriend Lani has to live in a different way. But I know at the same time I'm obviously enhancing her life enough that it's willing to put up with the annoyances. And,
How long have you been with her for?
almost a year and a half. Pretty close, I think. So we started dating last year in July. Not last year, sorry, 2024. In July.
Yeah.
So yeah, about a year and a half. We've been living together for a little while as well, so we moved in pretty quickly.
Yeah, cool.
I had a house that was very big and empty, and
so like
and a
you
dog
guys
that needed extra attention.
You guys are that sort of new-ish, but you don't do Valentine's Day stuff?
No, I think again it was just we are both on our second relationships post divorces, so we're both divorced.
Yeah.
And I think when you get to this stage, it's less about the like, oh, we're looking for a crazy wild romance, and it's more like, hey, I just want to be with someone who wants to be with me and who understands me and cares to understand me and does all that. And I think one of the things you say at the start is like, you don't need to do stuff like Valentine's Day because we make such an effort. Because both of us would be perfectly happy by ourselves, or would have been now that we're together. Obviously, we can't be by ourselves again. But I think again, it's that again, it feels like for us at least, we both found it post divorce of like the relationship and the effort is what matters, but you have to do that every day anyway. Yeah. So even if we did Valentine's Day, and it sounds like a brag or whatever, but even if we did Valentine's Day, it wouldn't look that different to what we were doing all weekend anyway, where we like, you know, we have our kids 50-50. So we make an effort when we're not with them. We're always going out for food or going to the movies or whatever anyway. So, I think it's just, we want to be doing that stuff. We don't need Valentine's Day to be like, hey, you have to do this stuff with your partner, because it's like, well, I want to do stuff with her all the time anyway. So like, I don't need a day to do that. Yeah. And like our gifting stuff isn't like, you know, I'll buy her flowers, but she doesn't need a big box of chocolates. She'd rather I know her coffee order or her favorite chips or something. And so that's more, I think in our relationship anyway, that's more like the fact that I could just go order a coffee in the morning is more meaningful to her than a day where I just make a massive over the top
sort
effort.
of tokenistic
gesture. Exactly. And you know, we even talk about stuff like social media stuff. She's not really on social media, so a lot of people care about it for that reason. They want to, but that's just because again they want to show other people that someone cares about them. That's why most people are doing it, but we don't need to demonstrate that stuff to other people.
I think one of the day-to-day stuff that becomes habitual, that you're not doing stuff for them without, and it's intentional. Well, I'm about to do something nice for them today.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just a constant, like, the only thing that I don't do often, which she has to ask me for, is like include her in making a coffee. You know, that's the most annoying thing about being married, is sometimes I just want to make one coffee. Yeah. You know, so it's, but other than that, it's like I'm doing breakfast, making for everyone. Yeah, you know, it's or whatever. But yeah, I think, and that's the thing with Valentine's Day, when it becomes this thing where it's like, oh, fuck, Valentine's Day, should we go to a restaurant, like reservation or something? What do you want to do? And as soon as it becomes like a chore, then it's like,
it's
what's
like a
the
weird
point?
Expectation that's been set by someone else for your relationship.
Yeah. So what about? Let's go back in time then. What about like?
Wait, can I just? How long have you been married for?
We're 20 years in March.
Yeah, that's.
Whoa, damn, dude.
Yeah, got married young. We got married at 21.
20 years, wow.
Oh, my grandparents were 21. Actually, I was 20. I was 20 when I got married the first time, but that was.
Were you in church as well?
That did not. Yeah. I can't get you. Yeah. Christian youth. So. I was in the Salvation Army, and my ex-husband came to my church because I was there, but he was more like Christian City Church style. So he liked the sort of exciting music and the youth. That's where I was. So he liked the more charismatic stuff, whereas I liked the more sort of community outreach, like social justice stuff, and. So there was always sort of, tension. I'm so clumsy today. I say today as if that's not my constant state.
It's always today.
Yeah. But so we had sort of that like tension, but already because everyone in my church wanted him to like come into the, like really commit to it, because I was a soldier in the Salvation Army, so I've like signed a covenant to God that I won't like have premarital sex or do drugs or drink alcohol.
What you just have to sign a thing.
So yeah, you just like sign it and you do it in front of your congregation, and you like sort of you say vows sort of the same way that you would at a wedding. And the officers sort of officiate it. And so it's not the same as being an officer, because you have to go to war college to become an officer. But you're a soldier, so it's like you're I can't remember what the word is, but you're full member of the church. And he just would never commit to that. And I remember having a lot of like jealousy, because I was fully committed to the church, and they were sort of like overlooking me in terms of like leadership, whereas they kept going to him and trying to give him leadership roles, and he was sort of accepting them reluctantly. And I'm like, why do they want you to be the leader? Like, why not me?
They want the men to be the leaders in these churches, right?
Well, I mean, but the Salvation Army has quite a good, it's not perfect. And by today's standards, it's probably a bit backwards. But, back 15, 20 years ago, it was actually quite good representation and really quite good attitude towards women and equality. Okay. Like the district or the territorial commander was a woman at the time. And you could have like a woman that was an officer being married to a non-officer, which in lots of churches you couldn't have that kind of leadership. So it was quite good in like generally, but I kept coming up against this, and I feel like it was probably that they knew I was desperate and wanted it too much, and my heart wasn't in the right place.
I feel like you're right, because I feel like there was at my church, it's Pentecostal.
Yeah.
It was like, I was in the band, and I was like, come on everybody, you ready to praise Jesus today?
Yeah.
And I feel like I just tried too hard, and I wanted it so bad to be like a leader. And but then, there was so much control going on.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it's funny how. And are you involved in any of that at all now?
Nope. By the time I was like, so we got married just before my 21st birthday, and then I went, like, we were together for a year or two, I guess, and then I read, I think it was a Richard Dawkins book. Like, I was already sort of coming, feeling, questioning. But then I read this Richard Dawkins book, The God Delusion, and that pretty much like murdered any surviving faith that I had.
Right.
And like that's a flawed
book.
Ready
for it,
yeah, like it was a flawed book, but I had started, like my twin brother died when I was 17, and so that was but that was already like the start of me being like, oh, I don't think I can believe in this. And
you just felt you weren't still connecting with
it. Like, and it's for a stupid reason, but as a kid, I had a very unstable childhood, and as a kid I had made this like covenant with God, because like I believed in God from earliest memory. I just always believed in God, and so, but I remember when like my parents were fighting or something and being like, I just care about my brothers so much, because I had I actually have 5 brothers, but I didn't know about one of them at the time. But I just loved and cared about my brothers so much. And I was like, God, you can do anything you need to me. Like if I need to die, I'm willing to die for you. I'll be a martyr for you. And if my parents have to die, like I understand that's what, that's their journey with you, but keep my brothers safe. I will do anything for you, but you have to keep my brothers safe. And so like God never said to me, yeah, sis, like I got you. So I don't know why I thought that it was agreed upon, but I was just like, that was,
you're told that he's listening.
Yeah.
And he's listening and he wants a relationship with you.
Exactly.
And the fact that something back to.
And the fact that you've said that with such conviction and faith, I've said this now, nothing's going to happen.
Exactly. Like,
so to have that deep rooted belief.
So then when he died, I was like, okay, so promises mean nothing.
Yeah, so that was bullshit.
And so that was sort of the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
So by the time I was 22, 23, I had stopped believing completely, and I was like obnoxious about it. I was really obnoxious.
You always
atheist.
overcorrect the other way.
Yeah.
The people that have come out of church, they always they can talk about it for hours, I feel. Because I've run into people over the years, almost everyone that we know that got married in the church that we went to is divorced.
Yeah.
Twice in some things, onto their third marriages in some, or they are so far from that life that but they want to talk, they love talking about it because you look back on it. And for us, it was like, I went when I was 16, 17, got married in 2006 and went for a few more years after that. Yeah. So it was 7 or 8 years or something that I was there.
Well, it's very formative.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. And then looking back as well, like there was a lot of stuff like they did like carrot dangle stuff, right? They find out your passions and what you're really good at, and they're like, we can put you somewhere that you can excel in that. You know, they knew that I wanted to play music. They knew that I could sing. So they were like, if you put your dues in, put your time in, one day you can be here. And then it was just, they just kept moving it further and further away until someone else turns up who's got more to offer. Yeah. And then they're like, they want more, they can now, they've got something that we need, so we're going to put them.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt. Like, I was just like, so. And
then, so how did you meet your husband?
My first husband or my second husband?
Your second husband.
Okay.
I'm trying not to say your current husband because that infers that.
I was going to say current husband. I didn't even make that connection.
My current...
Your middle husband.
Yeah, my middle husband.
How are you going to meet your next husband?
Yeah. We were doing community theatre.
Oh, cool.
Cool. So
she brought it back to acting.
Yeah.
My parents met in the theatre.
Oh, really? That's nice. Were they, like, what kind of theatre were they doing?
My dad did musicals and
operating theatre.
Aww.
So,
oh,
yeah, cool.
He does, he's always done musicals and stuff.
Nice.
He actually did a Gilbert and Sullivan last year.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Limited.
Great.
Which is really hard to follow if you can't tell what they're saying.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah. So he's still performing?
Yeah, he loves
Fantastic.
it. Yeah, he's still in a choir and stuff.
Mr. Meehan just...
He listened to the last one.
Did he? Thank you.
Is that where you kind of get your artistic, like
definitely.
performing?
Again, Jared and I sort of chatted about this last time. It's like my family's my grandparents ran a theatre company. My parents were doing the theatre. Like I've just always had it in my blood, I think.
So he's a good person to know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Age Link Theatre. Shout out! It's for mostly retirement villages.
I'm great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to...
Honestly, you guys, you'd be fantastic. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, wicked.
I used to... my theatre stuff was all at Limelight in Wanneroo.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. The same thing. It's just like a 180, 200 seater place, and then there's bus retirees there.
That's pretty sick.
So I did like a production. I played the lead in the Wedding Singer musical.
Oh, you'd be so good at that.
Yeah, it was good fun. It was the first thing I ever did.
Yeah.
Like the first acting role I ever had.
That's cool.
Second, technically, the first one was like I played a policeman just standing there with no lines. I come in right at the end of the play, and then the next one was the lead, and I was like, "This is awesome."
It's a big jump up. Yeah.
It's a jump up, and I had to. It was a bit of a shock. Because like you had to do kissing scenes, there's like I had to dance.
Yeah, true.
I don't dance as well. Sing American accent. I play guitar, and then so it was a bit of a learning. It was kind of like very deep end of acting stuff. Yeah. I remember I found out that I have to smooch 2 girls, and then a girl has to sort of give me a lap dance. You know Linda, who plays like the ex of Adam Sandler's character in The Wedding Singer. They write a whole musical number in the musical for it.
Okay, yeah.
And she does this sort of like saucy dance, and my character sort of passed out. But I remember like having to telling my wife, I remember telling her in bed at night, we're about to go to sleep. I'm like, good night, babe. Good night. Love you too. By the way, I've got to kiss 2 girls. Good night. And she's like, what the fuck? No. So that was funny. But then, like, you do it. So, have you got to do any of that stuff? Like,
what show did you guys meet doing? Like, what show?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, we actually met in Jane Eyre.
Cool.
But he was cast as Rochester, and I was just I was in the ensemble, so like just a bunch of different smaller roles. And so we didn't actually we had one scene where we sort of interacted, but we had no lines. That wasn't like a particularly demanding role in terms of the wildness of what happen. The main thing is just trying to get a northern accent for which I couldn't do before. I could probably do it now because
Northern English.
Chris is from Northern England.
Yeah, cool.
So I've picked up some things, even though he'd probably mock me still.
Well, you can mock him back now.
Well, he had to do an Irish accent for it because he had to play like the Irish gypsy and it's Rochester, but he's pretending to be a Irish gypsy. And so I was trying to teach him the Irish accent and he was trying to teach me the northern accent and neither of us quite managed it. But he can do it a bit better, better now because he used YouTube rather than me.
Can you just pick stuff up like with accents and impressions and stuff, or do you need to like?
I mean, it really depends. So I have this problem where if someone has an accent, I will start mirroring it. So
I'm gonna introduce you to my parents.
Like it can be really awkward because I will just start speaking in the same voice. And it's not like a conscious or deliberate thing, but I have done it since childhood.
Right.
Like there was a boy from the US who came to my primary school, and every time I talked to him, within a couple of lines, I was just talking with an American accent. And then he probably didn't hear it, but other kids did.
Yeah.
And they would then mock me for it. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. But my whole...
All your Uber drivers are just super offended as well.
Yeah, no, but I have to consciously not drop into that. Like, I have to listen to what I'm saying sometimes. But my mum is from Northern Ireland. She's from Belfast. But she's been here since she was 12. So she gets a bit of an accent when she's very upset or when she's drunk.
Or around other Irish people.
Irish people. And then I lived with my grandparents. They fostered me from I was like 12 till I got married. And they still had quite a broad Irish accent. Yeah. Not super broad because they'd been out for like decades. Yeah. But they'd still been in Ireland by that point longer than they'd been in Australia. So
say the word Ireland with an Irish accent.
Yeah. Like it's very hard. As soon as I start talking about it.
Oh, damn, it sounds very natural though.
But if I try and force it, can't do it. It sounds ridiculous. If I try to talk with an Irish accent, it'd sound ridiculous.
Like an impression of someone doing an impression.
Pretty good.
But if I'm just talking to Irish people, then I do fall into it. And ever since I was a kid, people have been like, "What's your accent? Where are you from?" And
wherever you want me to be from.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what you mean by that. I'm from here. Like I live down the road from you. I was born in Perth. Like I don't know what you mean by like where am I from? Yeah. And they're like, oh, you've got such a weird voice. Like, oh, you're so la-di-da. But also being like, I've had acting teachers be like, oh, your voice is so ochre. You're so like you're so like nasal. And so I've had another. One of my ex-friends, my first husband got her in the divorce. Oh, nice. Her dad was like, oh, you've got the most bogan voice. I'm like, what the fuck? No one, like, I wouldn't mind.
You got a fat ass?
Yeah, he did. But I didn't. It was upsetting because I couldn't understand why I was getting such different. Because in primary school, I would have people saying, "Oh, why are you so posh? Why do you sound so posh? Yeah. Why are you so la-di-da?" And I didn't know what la-di-da or posh meant, except for one of them was a Spice Girl. So
I love la-di-da Spice.
Yeah. Smooth. So having the very different feedback was very confusing. And
it's funny so many people have felt the need to comment on your voice.
They really do.
Criticize. I can't believe how many different people have told you things about your voice.
Yeah. And like I've had people like when I'm singing, so like I sang Memories from Cats, which is a hard song at an audition, and the musical director for the play that they were going to put on was like, oh my God, she's like pitch perfect. It's amazing. And I was like, fucking great. Didn't know that about myself.
Sick.
And then at church, I'm singing and the worship leader had to like they were going to put together like a church band, and she in a church leadership group. So I didn't hear this, but my grandparents were both elders in the church. So they got to hear it. she's like, oh, she can't really be in the worship team. Her voice is as rough as guts. If she wants to be in it, she's going to have to really train.
Brutal.
So, I mean, I don't know. Am I pitch perfect or is it rough as guts? I don't know.
Look, I've got a guitar here.
No. I'm not doing it. I haven't warmed up. But,
1, 2, 1.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
But I'm like, okay, clearly I'm not pitch perfect. But am I actually rough as guts? Like, but yes, people have commented on my voice my whole life.
It's one thing.
And my accent.
Yeah, I think
I would love to
look
think
at the
that,
context,
but they were
right?
teasing me a lot, and I was a dork.
Yeah, but you can sing though. If you can actually sing, people are jealous of people.
If you look at the context and you're doing pitch perfect in theatre, and you go to church, and it's people that want to keep you down or keep
but it was
themselves
community theatre, so does it count?
Well,
yes,
I think a community theatre person would be watching more people sing.
That's true.
You'd think.
That's
Well,
right.
there's a lot of singing in church. Like, we used to go to church as well, and there is a lot of singing.
Bless you.
My child.
So, that was good. Yeah, it's tough. I feel like a community theatre person would be judging singing more than a church person would.
Yeah. And the community theatre person has no reason to not give
more
you
to lose by telling you that.
No reason to not give you feedback. Like, I'm sorry, but this is like a pretty big deal. This production, whatever. We need.
Whereas there's already power dynamics in the church.
Yeah. They want to keep themselves at a level and keep other people at a level.
I reckon closer to pitch perfect sounds like the.
Does it sound like I'm bitter towards church?
Yeah. So what made you like? Are you still in it or no?
Nah. I stopped. Yeah, I stopped. It's long story, and like it's part of this is my wife's sort of story to tell, so I won't tell her side of it. But like they like were weirdly controlling, right? So like I had a girlfriend in high school. I just after I graduated, and they like didn't approve of, right? They made us separate. They made a bunch of people separate from their partners.
That's
so weird.
That's bizarre.
That's
and
a weird.
Like
thing
looking
to do.
back retrospectively, I'm like, you're married.
Yeah.
Like, how did you not date your wife?
Just the thought of someone outside of a relationship telling me that I have to end the relationship.
But it was weirdly controlling.
To me.
In our church, like building, we had like seats. You know how you have in churches.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, seats. Yeah, so we would all sit down. But if you, for some reason, were sitting next to a girl or a member of the opposite sex, a leader would come up to you afterwards and be like, "Why are you sitting next to Molly? Is there something going on?"
Oh wow!
So you'd feel so nervous that eventually, over the months,
so you'd segregate.
The founder of the church was segregated. So at youth, not so much Sunday services, but like
that's
youth
pretty
group,
clever.
it was like boys and girls in a chunk, and then they were like, "Oh, this is a bit."
Keeping room for Jesus.
Yeah. They were like, I think even they thought this is a bit like obviously.
Segregated,
So then they started to they doubled down on the control and they started putting moving people around.
Oh my
so
god!
So like there was this thing where I was just talking about this with my wife the other day, but people on the front row, if you were sitting in church at youth or at church, you had to be vocal. Yes. Thanks. You had to be vocal, which meant that if the preacher's preaching, the pastor's talking, you say stuff like, "That's good, come on, preach it."
Sounds like a fucking late night show where they're like in the audience, like, "Hey, remember if you laugh, the guy will do better jokes." Like, are you going to be good and laugh for Jay Leno?
And the idea is that it rolls right throughout the audience. Everyone else is like, "Oh yeah, it's good."
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So then what they would do is like you'd go in the morning and you'd put your Bible notepad down on the chair, and that's where you're going to sit, and you go out into the foyer and chat. But then the pastors would get their little like minions to go through and look at whose books they were, and then shuffle them around and put people who they thought were going to be more compliant.
Dude,
on the
imagine your whole life
like
is
a cult.
thinking about shit like this. Imagine being one of those cult leaders that like, I have to figure out who's sitting next to who, and I have a fucking plan for these people and shit. Like, how weird do you need to be to dedicate your life
it was
to
crazy.
something like
but
that?
like before we were rolling, and they're just one of many things just looking back on. I could list.
I mean, if that's
15.
a single example, that's
That's
a
a
pretty
single
fucking
example
good
of 15 examples I could think of.
You're making my church experience seem perfectly
I
lovely.
go to youth group and I'd go to church with my family and they'd be like, all right, all the kids fuck off now.
Yeah.
Well,
and
then
I'd go out with them and it was great because we'd just do nothing,
Yeah.
and piss around and then come back in.
One of the
And
youth
that was my
pastors
church thing.
faked cancer
Oh my God.
So that was a big thing. He came forward about it, but he was in the news and everything. And then just multiple, and they didn't approve of me and my wife when we started dating, and that was, I was like, not the final straw, but I was like, why do I care about what you...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why do you have any say?
Yeah, and then it was just like, and then the years that followed after we got married, there was a few things that happened, and we just sort of teed it off.
Yeah.
But I never really went
We
back.
just sort of mature and you become
An
curious
adult.
about things, and then well, you
can think
start
for yourself.
looking for answers, and you realize they don't have a lot of answers,
Yeah.
and then it's pretty easy to then just be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'd move away from this, but it's hard.
My grandmother was in the Mormon church, I think.
Right.
Was it I think it was Mormons.
Saints.
And like, because her family, her family weren't religious. Like they were Christian, but not really religious.
Yeah.
And this is in Northern Ireland. And so she just went to church with a friend, and that's how she joined the Mormons.
Yeah,
Her friend was like, do you want to come? Like, there's some morning tea. And she was like, yep, for sure. So they went and...
For sure.
Yeah. And so she was in the church for years. And then when she was like 14, 15 and started dating my grandfather, who was in the Presbyterian church, she was called up to the front after they'd been like, going steady. She was called up to the front of the church and excommunicated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because she was dating a boy outside of the church. But she didn't care because she was really just going for the food. And they wouldn't let her curl her hair. So she was like...
They wouldn't let her curl
Yeah,
her
you're
hair.
not allowed to
the
curl your
gold
hair.
plates, no hair.
Yeah. So she was like, wicked. I get to join the Presbyterians. They've got better food, better boys, and I get to curl my hair.
But how real is the fact that back then you did start going to church for a girl or a boy? You know what I mean? I remember there was a bunch of girls out. When my friend dragged me along.
Flirt to convert.
Yeah, that's what we used to say.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway.
Fuck, they got a good playbook. Honestly, you can't disparage their playbook.
No.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, did you see the girl that was ringing around asking for baby formula?
What?
No.
So there was a girl last year, 2025, who was, it'll be old news now, but she was ringing churches pretending to need baby formula.
Oh, wow.
And so she was like, I'm sorry, I'm really desperate. I need...
Can't get, it's like limited how much baby
something like
formula
that.
someone
Yeah.
buys.
I don't think that was the point, but it was just she wanted to see their like generosity. Right. So apparently, like every single church had, and she was listing the excuses down, and she films herself making the phone calls, and it was all like, "Oh, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do now. Like, we'll pray for you."
Oh my God!
Yeah. So it was like a little social experiment. I think it was like a Buddhist church or something that said yes. And that was
like
it.
Buddhist.
Yeah.
They seem pretty cool.
I might be wrong, but yeah. But most of the Christian churches were like, it was just excuse after excuse.
I'm genuinely surprised because like the salvos are deeply flawed, like every church. But I am genuinely surprised to hear if she called them that they didn't help.
But baby formula is a clever one to do as well because it's literally like, I just need this for a child. It's completely...
Yeah.
But I think the debate was like, oh, what is she doing? Like, what a waste of time. Like, she's lying. Like... She obviously doesn't have a baby, like so. But then the
point
is,
you have when you have no way to attack the actual.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So is that the backlash to her social experiment, or were those the excuses that the churches were making?
No, just the backlash, the public
backlash
against her.
Yeah, but it was a social experiment, so
that's
none
right,
of that counts.
Yeah. So then you can hear them talking, going, "There's nothing we can do for you today. Nothing right now. I will pray for you," and that was it. Like, oh, cool. So yeah, it's funny.
Like my grandparents are dead now,
prayers.
But if
They're delicious.
Yeah, but if they were still alive, they would have personally gone and bought baby formula for her.
I think even that's surprising though, because I think you're right. I think if it was to the actual community, you would have got results. But they went to leadership and the people running the churches, and that's churches, when they were shut down.
Like my in-laws live next door. If they'd gone to that church and they answered the call, they are kind of people that would be like, we'll drop it off in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, they're just that sort of generous. But I went to a Christian school as well. We used to have to do Bible verses in the memorize Bible verses. And even as a kid, I remember thinking, this is pretty brainwashy.
Yeah. I mean, I
and
loved that.
So I mean,
I can't recall any Bible verses
Me neither.
anymore, but I used to
hymns and stuff.
practice it like it was Shakespeare.
The funniest thing, I remember watching
Sounds like
Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Watching Mr. Bean in the episode where he goes to church.
Oh, I have vague memories.
There's an
like this.
episode,
remember.
and it's the same. It's almost the same church that we go to, just the same vibe, and they're singing Hallelujah, and he's just like he's falling asleep. That was what the church that I was going to with my parents when I was a kid first, before I went to this like Presbyterian. But yeah, Christian church as well. I remember bringing it back to Valentine's Day. I had a girlfriend in like year 8. I was like 13 or something.
Brag more, bro.
And I can't remember who it was. Sorry.
Too many girlfriends.
Yeah. No, that was just too long ago.
I'm just jealous.
But I remember I was like, oh no, it was Valentine's Day. I haven't gotten them anything. And then we used to remember those black rubber bands. We used to have a word for them,
like the plumbing ones.
Yeah, like the black rubber
O-rings.
Yeah, they were like O-rings, but they were big, so you could put them on your wrist, and some
yeah.
people wore them as necklaces.
Yeah. So I used to wear those.
Sounds like a cool kid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't really part
I used
of
to wear a bunch of those around my wrists, and I was like in my bed at like. I must have been 12 actually, because I remember I was in my old house. I hadn't moved out yet. I was 12. And I was like looking around the bedroom. I've got these bands. Took them off my wrist and I cut 3 of them, and I started like plaiting them together to make a bracelet.
Aww.
Right?
I mean, that actually takes some effort.
Yeah, that's actually.
But I remember
really
I dipped it.
creative.
I dipped it in some kind of like paint or something. and
Liquid
then, like,
paper. Just some white out.
Back when liquid paper was actually liquid.
No,
as well.
I love white out, man.
Yeah, me too. Just that.
Just paint everything.
Yeah.
And then like, and I don't even think I had the guts to give it to her. And then me and my mate were like, "Did you do anything?" I'm like, "I made a bracelet, but it didn't work." And then so we were just like going through the bushes in the school, like clipping like roses out of the thing, and we got in trouble for that. It was terrible. It's terrible. First love? No, it wasn't a first love. I don't know who it was.
First girlfriend.
Yeah.
First crush.
How
He's
old
like,
were you?
no, actually, I had girlfriends way before.
My first girlfriend was in year 1.
Wow.
Like, as in, like,
Holy crap.
we had a girlfriend. A horrible story. Like, if you want to hear it, but like, she asked me what you wanted to be, boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, yes, absolutely. And then like the next day, I remember so excited, that feeling of like having a girlfriend. And then I go to school the next day. My parents used to drop me off super early because they'd be working early. I was always the first one at school. I see her. I'm playing on the playground, and I see her walking in. I like bolt up to her. I'm like, "Hey, do you remember yesterday?" And she was like, "Oh yeah." Like that. And then I remember I was like, "So we're dating?" She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Wow.
And then I remember like it was even worse. Like I remember finding out that like my friend liked her as well. I think his name was Kieran.
That's always rough.
Kieran, not a name you hear often anymore. And he liked her as well. I remember like lying in bed at night going,
How do I kill Kieran?
How do I take Kieran off the board?
Yeah.
I remember I was like, we're going to flip a coin for this girl. So I took a Ninja Turtles coin.
Fuck it. I'm on board now.
Classic.
Flipping a coin for a woman, not on board. Ninja Turtles coin, I'm on board.
Yeah.
But so then
That makes it classy.
But they were both, the girl and Kieran, both on board. They're like, all right, let's do it.
Really?
Whoever wins,
She's like, yeah, I guess.
whoever wins, wins, right? So then, like, she goes inside the classroom. It's like a demountable building. There were steps going up. She's in there. Me and Kieran are out front. I'm like, ding! You know? Fucking, I win.
It's totally heads.
I win. I totally win. It's me. I get it. And he's like, all right, I'll go tell her. I look in through the door, and I can see them like just chatting. And he's kind of like doing this, and like, so I'm over here, and he's like, and then I see her sort of look over the door and goes, like that. Just the physical disappointment drop.
Oh
and then he came out and he goes, I told her, and I was like, just through like fighting tears, I was like, you can have her.
Wow. Heartbreak, man.
Heartbreak. And then we kissed in year 3, 2 years later.
Oh, damn.
First kiss on the lips. Yeah.
Nice.
That was a weird story as well. Like you weren't allowed to leave.
It's already a weird story. We're talking about year 3's kissing, right?
I was in year 3.
I know it's you. Still kind of weird.
I wasn't the teacher or anything. Because the school that I went to had 4 pedophiles.
Christian schools do tend to.
But yeah, you weren't allowed to leave the class until you'd eaten your lunch.
Yeah.
Right? So like her and I were the last ones left. And then this is my, I don't know how my little 8-year-old brain worked at the time, but we were talking and sort of, I was like, do you remember? She was like, do you remember what you want? And I was like, no, I don't remember it. And she was like, yeah, we were dating. And I can't remember the exact thing she said. And then the subject changed to like kissing, right? We're talking about kissing. And she's like, about wanting to kiss me or something. And I was like, I remember because I was looking out and there was, we were on the corner block. So there's windows everywhere. I'm like, if she kisses me in here, everyone's going to see. So I'm like, I do this thing where I'm like, no, you can't kiss me. I'm going to run away from you. And then like, sort of like accidentally fall down behind like the teacher's desk.
Oh, wow.
And then she plants one on me. And then I see this kid looking through the window like that. And then I was like, I bet you can't kiss me or something. And then she planted one on me. She runs away. And I felt like this was like the most romantic thing I could have ever said. She sees this kid watching at the window and she goes to like run out to meet her girlfriends. And I was like, wait. I catch her at the door. She flips her around. I go, wow. I bet you can't do it again. I remember clear as day.
Wow.
And she does it again and then she runs off.
Oh my gosh.
You had more game than me when you were 8.
You're so smooth.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Back then.
You want to know what my first girlfriend was? 19. So you win.
That's perfectly appropriate.
I know, thank you.
That's fine. I didn't kiss a girl after that until like high school.
Nice.
Yeah. And then
why would you ruin the moment, man?
Exactly.
That was too perfect.
Yeah.
You could never live up to that again.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing my second wife. Reconnecting. I'm kidding. Yeah. But any moments like that, high school loves, ones that got aways.
I mean, probably plenty of ones that got aways, but nothing that actually would mean anything now.
I'm trying to remember my first boyfriend. I think his name was Braden. He was just so.
Strong start.
There was
He played footy, didn't he?
I don't know. He lived in Perth and I lived in Denmark, but his grandma lived across the road from us. And she was genuinely just the loveliest lady. She would bring us over cakes for our birthdays and care packages, and we'd go over and like she'd give us little jobs to do in exchange for lollies, and it's just like she was. What was that? Was that your phone?
No, it's just a pen and a cloth.
Oh, okay.
Continue the story.
But she was a sweetheart, and she was a real support to my mum and to my family during periods of chaos and upheaval. And her grandkids would come down every so often to visit during the school holidays and stay for a week or so. And so I was friends with her granddaughters, but her grandson was actually the same age as me. And I had a bunch of brothers, so I was kind of like, I was comfortable around him, but not really interested because it's like, I've got enough brothers.
Yeah, there's enough boys around.
Yeah, there are enough boys around. But then this one visit, I don't know, we just were like hanging out and like nothing really like intimate or romantic. I don't think we kissed or anything. But he just was just really kind, and I think we just like had an understanding that it was special.
Yeah, that you guys were like doing stuff together.
Yeah. And then I think it must have been around my birthday because he gave me a present, and it was just because I just recently learnt how to knit, and so he had spent, it must have been hours, because he gave me this ball of yarn, but he'd like personally gone and like cut lots of different yarns to make like a rainbow yarn.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And it was a massive ball of yarn. Yeah. And so I don't know how long it would have taken him to do it, but his sister's like, yeah, he did that himself.
Wow.
And it's like, oh my gosh. And so I felt very honoured.
Yeah.
But then I didn't see him again for ages.
Yeah.
And then like the next time I saw it, it was just like kind of awkward.
It's so funny how we have these like fleeting relationships with other human beings.
Yeah.
And so many will never revisit or meet, or and you forget about.
And we're like really young as well. Like when people talk about kids, it's like they're innocent, they don't understand romance and stuff. No, like in year one you had that love. Like you felt passion and you cared and you had romantic feelings. Kids have a really deep emotional life. They're just not mature.
Yeah, they just don't understand what it is or how to direct it.
Yeah.
Also, like, especially when you get into that sort of teenager period, it's not just love, it's like obsession, like all emotions and hormones are taking like a crush and turning it into like obsessive love kind of thing.
The intensity really ratchets up in your teenage years.
Everything
is much more intense.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't kiss a girl until like from then until I was high school, but not including the girls that I lied about.
I got plenty of those.
I got heaps.
We can go through. I've got a great list of those.
Well into the 20s and 30s.
Matilda, Mary, exactly, Margaret.
Let's just go through like old movies and stuff, and I probably pretended they were my
Agnes,
girlfriend.
Audrey.
Oh, well, tell me about all these girls.
Arabella.
Well, there was Sarah Michelle, there was Jennifer Love. That was 4 different girls.
There was Lola Bunny.
She was hot though.
That Space Jam movie really had an effect on me as a kid.
It was Maid Marian, she was a fox.
Maid Marian, yeah, she was a fox, yeah. They were all foxes.
just Maid Marian and Robin Hood.
So funny.
I had a crush on Kermit the Frog.
Oh yeah, cool.
Nice.
And also,
green on Valentines
also, I think Michelangelo.
Oh, that's a good one.
I had a full going back to Ninja Turtles, obviously. I had a full realization. Have you guys seen the 2023 movie?
No.
The
really
animated
good.
one.
The new one, the Seth Rogen produced one with Jackie Chan, Splinter.
Yeah, interesting.
Really good.
Yeah.
I realized I always wanted to be Raph, obviously, because he's like the cool strong one. And I hated Mikey. Always hated him. Despite having nunchucks, which are my favorite weapon, and pizza, which is my favorite food.
And the funniest ninja.
Watching this movie, I had a realization that the reason I hated Mikey was because I was Mikey.
Right.
Aww.
And I was like, pay attention, Mikey. Listen to the plan. Do the thing. Pay attention. And I was like, had this full realization of like, I didn't like him because he was me.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, even in this new movie, I was like, all the Ninja Turtles, I feel like I have aspects of each of them. And so it was cool realizing it wasn't me and my friends, because I didn't have friends.
Yeah.
It was me and the different parts of me. But Mikey was the bit that was the most me.
Yeah.
And so I realized all these years of like,
so you've been resenting him.
Because I wanted to be Raph, who was like the cool and strong and followed the plan and did the right thing.
So Lani comes in and you're weeping watching.
Dude, honestly, mate, I watched it with the kids afterwards, and that movie is like, if you haven't seen it,
it's pretty good.
It's
the animation style is fantastic.
But honestly, the layers of it and the things you go through is like, it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's really hard
I
because
haven't watched it.
It's honestly, it's called Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really, have you seen any of the new Spider-Man animated movies?
No.
Spider-Verse ones. Yeah.
Sony Animation Studio is doing
They're
some
killing
amazing
it. Yeah.
stuff. Spider-Man, Ninja Turtles. I think they did K-pop Demon Hunters as well.
Oh, okay. K-pop.
Pretty sure it's from the same studio. Yeah,
very,
trust
very,
me,
very
I have a
good.
daughter. She's Zoe. She even got a haircut like Zoe for her school photos last year.
Serious?
I have no frame of reference.
Oh man,
I've heard
K-pop
of
Demon Hunters. I have
My son
seen that
refuses to watch
movie.
it.
I've seen that movie 6 to 7,000 times, but I won't say 6 because my kids will notice that.
6, 7.
I've seen that movie. Went to the sing along when they released it at the cinema.
Oh,
we
serious?
watched it on the weekend again, man. She loves that movie.
I think my son
It's a
has
pretty good
avoided
movie.
it.
In all fairness,
Right.
it's not a bad movie.
Yeah,
My son
it is
has avoided
a
it.
genuinely good film.
And the songs are banging.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So there's one song that he likes because he's been avoiding it, but they watched it at school. They took a vote. They're like, it's the last day of school, term,
what do you
whatever.
wanna watch,
What do you want to watch? And he wanted to watch something else, and everyone voted on that K-pop.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
And he was like, he's just ignoring it. But then there was one song he was like.
The first song, man, the first song they open with, Dun Dun Dun, is like that. Once that movie opens, I remember watching her face the first time she saw that movie, and from that moment, she was hooked. She was just,
I showed my son. We're still getting through it, but he just watched the first Happy Gilmore.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, and then there's just certain things that I'm like, I'm so happy and so proud that he's laughing at things that I laughed at his age when I watched this same movie. So he laughed at. He made me rewind it and watch it again. The scene where Happy Gilmore goes, might go eat some hay. Lay down by the bay.
Yeah.
I just may. What do you say? And he was like, he lost it and made me rewind it and watch it again. I just like that stuff. But then like, it's hard because we grew up in a time where like we say as adults, it was the best, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Ninja Turtles, and it was the best.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, but then you try and watch them as an adult, and you're like, I can't get through this. This is insane.
I have that with the Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks 2 used to be my favorite movie.
Yeah, right. They go to Washington.
You watch it now, and it's just the movie is a cliche. Like everything you can predict beat for beat the whole movie, and it's still fun.
Yeah,
and like it's fun for what it is, but it's definitely not something I watch and go, wow, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
Whenever the films that I liked as a kid and show my kids now, I am happy to stand by them.
Yeah.
That's
nice,
stuff like Labyrinth and shit. But,
That's
cool.
mostly it's just a matter of like stuff that I watched as a kid isn't appropriate, a lot of it for them yet.
Or
And
they
I'm like,
won't get
it's
the
too
stuff that
scary.
you found funny as
well.
well.
No, it's not so much that they've got a pretty similar. It's just like in Willow. I'm desperate to show them, but there's a scene with the like massive rat dog things that like tear up an old woman in the opening scenes.
Oh damn!
And that's scary for my kids. Like they would freak out, and so I'm like, when will you not freak out but still be young enough to have that sense of wonder?
How old are they? Sorry.
They are 8 and 10.
Oh, cool.
Mine are 8 and 6.
Yeah. So it's just like, I'm just like, please, come on. But we watched Labyrinth and they loved it.
Yeah.
But the shows that I watched as a teenager and loved, now I watch them and I'm like, that's so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. That's so cringe.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Charmed and
So like Sabrina, Charmed.
Charm's hilarious. Lani just was watching Charm recently. Watched the special effects on it.
It's so
Me
bad.
and my sister used to watch it. I loved it.
Even like Veronica Mars, like stuff. Because I think
because Veronica Mars they brought back, didn't they?
Yes,
Kristen Bell's
like a
so
few
good,
times.
man.
She's awesome. But I think it's because of Buffy, all these shows, and like, but Buffy has aged really quite well.
I love Buffy.
Buffy has.
Yeah, Angel was pretty
Angel was good as well.
Yeah. Angel was great. But I think all these other shows sort of tried to emulate the speech from Buffy.
Yeah,
the like really, really fast pace and like, you know, sort of like made up slang stuff.
Yeah.
And so when other shows tried to do it at the time, it kind of worked.
Yeah.
But now it's just really badly dated, I guess. Like,
Yeah,
whereas
none
in
of
a
the
way
slang
that
makes
the
sense
Buffy hasn't dated
Yeah.
that badly. Like I was rewatching like quite early episodes. I'm like, this still slaps.
up,
This
The
is
only bad thing about rewatching shows from back then is the quality from season 1 to like season 5
Yeah.
is like it's
like really blurry
hazy
and
and like-
fuzzy.
yeah. I was telling someone
And square.
Yeah, very square.
Yeah.
I was telling someone on the weekend about a couple shows, Supernatural, which I
Yeah,
loved,
yeah, yeah.
Supernatural, and Smallville.
Yeah, we were talking about Smallville last time. I
And
watched
like,
Smallville.
I was trying to get my son to watch Smallville, and he does not care about it at all.
It's because it's teen drama shit.
It
He's probably
is,
not interested
It's
in it.
Superman as a teen, and he has like love problems.
I think that was the thing for me. I know at that age I was very interested in the concept of love and the relationships and because he's cool and strong and like of course there's multiple girls that want to be with him, and so you watch it and you kind of it's like aspirational almost.
Yeah.
Whereas he obviously just doesn't have the same motivations.
That's it. And the stuff about like this is why I like Superman as a character is like the whole thing, and Smallville did well was like Superman has like the weight of the world literally on his shoulders, right? And also the fact that like the show shows him finding out that he's like the sole survivor of his planet that's been destroyed. He's got no like his
that's
whole
cool,
race of people is gone.
wiped out. He's the last one.
And now he's on Earth. He's completely alone. Like when you think about it, and he feels like obligated to save people.
Yeah,
he
and
wants
he can't
to
share it with anyone.
Yeah, he can't share it with them. He wants to save people because that's how he's raised. But it's also if he kind of feels like he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah,
He's got to keep. So it's this weight of the world on his shoulder kind of thing, which I liked about Superman as a character. And then watching the show,
yeah, it's like imagine if you're a teenager whose problems really were.
Yeah, that's it.
Actually
Yeah,
the weight of the world.
Yeah, that's it. And I think that was the premise of the show. That was like the whole thing. But then, like some of his problems were like just like, all right, dude, come on.
You're Superman.
Yeah, it was very like I don't know what to do. Like I don't know, throw him through a building and then take him to jail.
Burn him alive with your eyes. Just bubble up his blood.
Yeah.
Into
And there was like very early episodes where he's obsessed with Lana Lang, and she lives next door. And he's got a telescope in his barn that he watches her house with.
Yeah,
Super
dicey.
creepy.
Yeah, real dicey.
He watches her in the first or second episode going to her house with her boyfriend, and it cuts back to him, and it's just like he's sitting in the window of his barn, just silhouette, just with he's hunched over and this dramatic music, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
Also, he was like 27 playing like a 13-year-old, which I also hate in those shows.
I guess in that one, it kind of does make sense, though, because you're playing Superman.
Yeah,
so it's like,
huge.
oh, well, Superman as a 13-year-old probably would look like that. That actually in this one
He's
specific
not
instance.
actually human.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
And then the only other thing was the inconsistency of like Lex and him are friends. But in the comics and everything,
he was a good Lex Luthor.
He was probably the best Lex Luthor, I think.
But wasn't like the whole thing? It's showing like the friends to enemies.
That's right. Yeah,
like, that was a whole.
Yeah.
But the
to create more like tension.
Yeah, which I love. I thought it was a great idea.
It always does when they have a pre-existing relationship.
Yeah.
Fractures
and then showing how Lex goes evil at the same time as how Clark becomes Superman was a good story, like in conjunction with each other. They just see him just descending further and further into like chaos and him becoming more and more a hero.
Yeah.
But then the whole thing was like, well, eventually Clark's going to be Superman and Lex is going to be his enemy. How does he not know that Clark and Lex are the same person?
Yeah.
And I was like, they better not just do like a memory wipe thing. And like, sure enough,
of course they do. Yeah.
they memory wipe him and they're like,
memory wipes are great.
I don't remember Clark at all. Who is this guy flying around? Yeah, it's funny, teen dramas. Molly.
Yeah.
Then what brought you to comedy then? Which I don't think I know.
Okay. So I just really like comedy. I enjoy watching it. I read funny books, and like when I was living with my grandfather, like my grandparents, my grandfather, because he was an elder in the church, he would have to like do the announcements and occasionally preach. And so he had these joke books and he would just like take a joke out of the joke book to do in a presentation or like a speech. So, which is just like that's just accepted for non-comedians, that you just do that. It's like, I need a joke. I know, I'll look at one on the internet or I'll look at one in a joke book, and you just steal jokes that exist. And
public domain joke.
Yeah, exactly. So he would do that, and I like started reading them, and some of them were quite dirty. I was like, Grandpa,
I can imagine he's reading them in real time, like Googling them in real time. What do you call a gape? No, never mind. What is a black? No.
He couldn't Google anything because we still had like dial-up broadband, like not even broadband, just dial-up internet.
The encyclopedia.
Yeah. But so we had these joke books, and I would, and also he had all these video cassettes of Irish comedians, and every time we'd have like a church gathering, we'd have like a prayer meeting and a Bible study, and then supper, and Irish comedians would come on. So they would put it on every time there was a gathering.
Comedy to be introduced to Irish comedy.
Yeah. So I would like learn the jokes from the Irish comedians and recite them for my friends, and then I would like learn these jokes out of the joke books and tell my friends. But I didn't think of myself as funny. I was like, I'm just stealing, like I'm just repeating
something that
you're relaying what you
it's like I'm just telling a funny story. Like just like if I was telling
you'll find it funny.
like you know, like when you watch, you know, Happy Gilmore or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, that scene, and you're just retelling a funny thing over. So that's all I thought I was doing. I was like, I'm not funny. I'm you taking someone else's funniness. And so then you know, growing up, I would like tape the Melbourne International Comedy Festival and watch that. The gala, massive. I would watch anytime I could watch stand-up comedy. I would watch stand-up comedy. Yeah. But again, I wasn't really familiar with Monty Python until I was like in my late teens, early 20s. Yeah. So like my friends at school would like riff off this Monty Python script, and I'd have no idea. I was like, I want to join in, but I don't have the script.
And it's hard to get context on
Monty
Python
it's like,
unless you've watched Monty
Python.
Why are the knights saying me?
Yeah. Did you say the bunny attacked him?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Tis but a scratch.
So the hand grenade is holy, right? Okay, cool, yeah.
What do you mean he had no arms and legs?
So then, is he Jesus or is he not Jesus?
He's just a very naughty boy.
So he was fully naked in the window, right?
Yeah, that's a hard one when you don't know.
So I was just like, how can they like, so I got the impression, because everyone else was doing the same thing as me, but they had different like sources. I assumed that to be funny and to do comedy, you had to have a script.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't just improvise or riff. I was like, they're not riffing. They have a script.
Reading,
they know what they're doing. This is all planned, which might tell you something about my neurotype. But I was like, this is organized, and I'm not in on it, so I can't be in on it.
Yeah.
Like no
How
one's.
could I be funny when I don't have the script?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to get the script. Like they like, it's Monty Python. I'm like, there are 100 Monty Python videos at the video shop. Like,
and the intros are so long.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very like inaccessible.
It is. It's a high barrier for entry when you have when
you're not exposed to
it.
So I was just like, oh, I guess I just can't do it. And then it wasn't until I was doing like community theatre and a couple of the actors were just riffing, and they were just like, they were doing puns, they were just saying silly shit, just like what you guys have been doing.
Being goofy,
And I was like, where did you learn that bit? And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, like, I want to join in. Like, how do you know where is this? Where is this script from?
Interesting thought.
And they're like, oh, we're making it up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You get to make up you can make up funny things.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, I don't have that skill. And it became even more impossible. I was like, I'm never going to be able to make up something that funny.
Yeah.
I still don't think I can.
Still working my way there.
You've been very funny.
We're getting there.
So I just was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just never be funny because I don't have that skill of making something up on the spot and just saying it. And but meantime, like, I am making my grandma laugh with my rants. I'm making my friends laugh with my sexist jokes against boys. I'm making my friends laugh with my Eminem impressions.
I bet your early material was amazing.
Oh, so good. I remember one of the times that my friend, like one of my best friends growing up, she was like, oh my God, that was so funny. It was just because I made up this big rant about this boy who was annoying us. And he was our friend, so it was really mean. But I was like, you're like... Yeah. But he was a bit older than us as well, so I don't feel too bad. But I was like, probably 9, 10. I'm like, you are like, 90% boy and like 5% ass and 5% bad smells, but in total you're just a cunt. And like, I don't like, or I think like he was like 5% dick or something. I don't know. Like,
did it
probably
kill?
2%, 0.2% dick. But in total, you're just a cunt. And like, looking back, I'm like, that's not a great line, but for a 9-year-old,
yeah.
Oh,
classic.
that's brilliant.
The
for a 9-year-old.
concept is great.
And then what a
Conceptually,
strong
yeah.
finisher as well. Like it ends on such a sharp word.
Yeah, it's a good switch of direction because you're waiting for how it all wraps up, and then you just drop
and it made him
on.
cry. So
Nice.
like, that's the result I
What was
wanted.
his name?
I think his name was Josh.
Tell you that, Josh.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah. But he's actually like, he was a lovely person, but we were just fighting that day.
Yeah.
So,
and to know that kind of language at 9 years old as well.
I had all the swear words down. Yeah.
Irish family. Yeah. Did you not hear that part?
Dinner's ready, cunts.
Yeah. You dog cunt.
Like Bruno's back.
Yeah.
Did any church material ever make it into your sets?
Not a lot. Like, I've talked about being a Christian and stuff, but not a lot.
I'm still umming and ahhing about it. I feel like it doesn't really serve a purpose other than to badmouth them.
I don't mind that.
You probably
If it
come
was
to
funny.
it eventually.
Yeah.
I think if you want to say something eventually, you'll know you want to say something, right?
Yeah, as long as
It's more of
relates back to, like, it has to be funny. You know what I mean? It can't just be me going, I had a shit. Because I don't, like, a lot of comedians are like, comedy's like therapy. And I don't really want it to be like that for me. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
I love getting on stage and I love when people laugh. So I'm not the kind of comedian to go up and like, you know what pissed me off today or pisses me off every day and just complain. I'm like, there is a place for that. And when you look at someone like Bill Burr who does that, it's brilliant. I love that style for him. But like for me, I'm like, comedy for me is not, I don't want to complain about stuff. I just want to talk about things. I've written this stuff. I think this should equal a laugh. This plus this should equal a laugh. Here it is. So for me to go and talk about church and past experiences and stuff, I feel like it's welcoming that into a place that's like a happy place.
Yeah, it's hard because I can't remember who told me. Might have even been Tori Whitley, talking about work stuff and him just being like, even what you think is mundane and run of the mill, like I have no idea Like, I have no idea. So that is interesting to me. Like, even if you're like, no one wants to hear this, or it's boring, or it's so run of the mill, or it's like just the mundane, like, I don't know anything that happens inside a church like that, for instance. So to me, it's not only if you can make it funny, I'm also like learning something about something that I have no idea about. Yeah. There's definitely like an interest to that. To me, like,
it would have to be fun for me to talk about.
The only thing, totally, of course. The only thing that you want to fit it in with your style.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the only thing I do say is that I look like a youth pastor.
Yeah, which is great. Which sounds like you almost were a youth pastor.
Yeah, that's right. And that would be on my way in as well. Yeah. If I was to do a joke, I'd be like, I look like a youth pastor and whatever, and then that would be my way into joking about it, like I did used to go. But I don't know what I would say about it without it making it sound like I'm just shitting on them.
Yeah, and that's... Yeah, if you don't want to do that, then...
Yeah, then I probably will eventually.
I kind of have that problem with... Because, like, I have... Obviously, I have kids and I'm married. And so I don't actually want to, like, shit on my kids on stage or my husband.
Yeah.
But they're who I live with. And that's, like, my day-to-day. Yeah. It's what I know.
I actually had this conversation with my son the other day about, like, hey, I'm going to make jokes about you, and I don't want you to ever feel like it's actually about you, because you're just the in that I use to talk about kids.
Yeah. And my daughter is cool. She's just like, I'm being mentioned. But my son is like, I don't want you talking about me.
Oh, wow. So, and then do you respect his wishes?
For the most part, I talk about kids generally.
Right.
But I have my joke that I can't give up yet because I don't have anything better to replace it with. But I've got 4 kids, 2 of the lovely, 2 that I gave birth to. And he's like, I'm not a lovely one. So he's already offended. Yeah. And then when I do the don't worry, I'm not here to bash kids, I can do that at home. He's like, what the hell, Mum? Serious? So he's funny. Very put out. And Artemis used to be put out, but now she's just like, you can tell jokes.
Mine are kind of, I have Colton, who's the 8-year-old, and Riley, who's the younger one. And Riley's the daughter, and she loves it. Yeah, she's a performer. She wants to do that.
Ollie, my kid loves it too.
But even Colton is he loves hearing it, but he's also very much he listened to our podcast and he heard me that I mentioned it, and straight away he's like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But you do that, and they're like, I think it's just they don't always love you talking about them because it's like someone else telling their story. Right?
Yeah. And it's
for the most part, they just love hearing their names.
Yeah, they think they're a bit famous.
If you're just saying nice stuff, they would be fine with it. Yeah. But it's when you're for my son, he's got a very strong sense of wanting to maintain his privacy.
Yeah, right.
He will not wear his pajamas when visitors are around, for instance, because he's like, that is for me and my family. My pajamas are private.
Honestly, privacy is an underrated value these days.
Yeah. So I've got on Facebook, I've got a bajillion photos of my son up until he was 1, and then pretty much none, because when he was 1, I was like, right, from now on he's going to be pretty recognizable. And I want to make sure he's got privacy. And so occasionally when they're in costumes or something, I'll post something, but it's really quite occasional, and I try to sort of disguise their face or do it at an angle so that they still artistically so that they're still not really recognizable. And I feel a bit bad that there's so much of him before 1, but also he's just a baby. Most people,
he was yours until 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Now he's his own person.
Exactly. But I also telling jokes about him or talking about him publicly. I had a podcast before I started comedy with my friend Alira, and it was called Mum Stuff, and it was just us talking about mum stuff. And
that makes sense.
I know, it was suspense, wasn't it?
No, I was waiting.
You didn't know what it was going to
held me right there.
Yeah. But we really went into a lot of detail, the vomiting in the mouth stuff and the sleepless nights and bedwetting and all the stuff.
The
realities of being a mum of young kids. And we couldn't keep going because of time, but then when we got to a point where we were like, oh, we could pick this up again, we were both like, our kids are not going to want this out there.
You guys talking
Like
about
talking about little kids, this stuff, but like
now they've got personalities.
But now they've got personalities, and it's their identity.
Someone stumbles upon it at school, and I saw your mum talking about how you used to wet the bed.
And even if you just say something accidentally in passing that you don't even think is a thing, you never know what they're actually going to take in.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. I ask all the stuff I've said about my son. I've asked him, "Are you right if I say this?" He thinks it's funny. I was like, I've talked about him putting his dick in my ear when he was 2 or 3. You know, so
we even had it.
He was
I'm trying to write a new joke and making a joke about how the kids are like shit at Fortnite.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and that was kind of why I had the conversation with him, because I was like, I don't want you to hear this and think that it's true. Like, I don't actually think it about you.
Yeah,
it's just a funny concept to joke about, and you're my kid, so you have to be kind of part of. And again, I'm not like naming him to be like, oh, you know, he's shit at Fortnite, but it's more like a kids are shit at Fortnite joke, which again, they're not, but it's funny that the adult is being like, oh, I wish the kids were better at video games.
Yeah.
Like, that's the premise of it. I don't want him to hear that and be like, I'm not shit at that. Like, I really like that and I care about it. And like, I don't want to hear that I'm bad at something I like. So it's really tough, because even that is like, it may seem like an innocuous thing, like obviously you're not shit at that, but if they at any point internalize that,
and
it's
if
really
it's
hard
part
to
of their
pull it back
identity
out
and
of them.
something that they're proud of, and you're shitting on that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, the reason I have this joke is because we do so much of this together that, of course, that's my experience, so I have jokes about it. But it's that thing about you never know what's going to affect them. So it's
that's right.
letting them know that it's not really about them. It's just about the joke.
I think my kid's just so used to me joking, that when I'm just kidding, bro. Like he doesn't care, and he's a big joker as well. Like he's supposed to do this school talent thing, and he won't do it. But he was like, I was like, wait, like he was thinking about doing stand-up comedy or playing a song he taught himself piano.
Wow.
So he's like, he's a very multi-talented kid, But he thought about doing stand-up, but he's like, I don't want to do it in front of the school. Are you crazy? I'm like, he takes my shitty jokes to school. Yeah. Like he told a joke at youth group, because he goes once in a while to youth group and at school. And the joke was, I don't even do it on stage. It's not very good. But it was like, my ex-girlfriend was a dog person. She didn't have a dog. She just looked like a pit bull. And I think Evan Willie has a similar joke.
Very similar to Evan.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought of, was Evan has a joke about owners who look like their dogs.
That's right. Yeah.
But he hasn't seen the dog. He just assumes.
Yeah, that's right. So I haven't done the joke since I heard it was similar to his, and because I was like, mine is probably not as well worded as his.
His is very good.
Yeah, that's a very good joke. So then, but I said it to my son. He thought it was hilarious. And then the parallel park one. There's a new one that it kind of gets a titter here and there. I've done it a couple of times now, which is like Asians. I've got an Asian friend who can't drive. Like he says he can't drive as well. It's quite stereotypical. The only funny thing funny than watching him try and parallel park is watching him try and say parallel park. My son.
It's really unfair that you were recording us.
Yeah, that's a dicey
while
one,
telling me that joke for the first time.
Yeah. So I was laughing at the surprise.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like
with confusion. What? I don't get it.
The whole thing is like, I have an Asian friend who admits that he's a bad driver. So at first
you have to bring him on stage to tell that joke. So everyone believes him.
So at first he's my friend, right? He knows that he's a bad driver, and he's Asian, right? And so like all three things, like you assume that he's cool with.
I don't assume that at all. No, that's Jared's views only.
There is no Asian friend. I made it.
Oh god. So
look, I think we'll leave it there because everything's gonna die. Like this is so much fun. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so excited because my cameras have worked perfectly. My audio. The last couple have been.
Honor to be here with you on your episode, Molly.
Yeah. Thank you for your first time. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
I feel like you wanted to talk about acting stuff, and I feel like we just kept going to like church,
romance.
And then romance.
Man. I loved hearing church. I mean, it's Valentine's Day, so we had to do that.
Wherever the conversation leads naturally is fine by me. But thank you for letting us be your first.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How appropriate for Valentine's Day. Yeah. Thank you, Molly Kerr. Thank you, Nic Meehan. And stick around. See you next week. Thank you.
Bye.